How you doing? It's Billy McGarry from Real Deal Marketing. Today I'm going to show you how to really take the easiest action to double your revenue online if you've got something like this sales funnel built in. I'll explain to you what a sales funnel is in a moment. Do not worry, but you do want to watch this because it's real simple and you're going to understand all the information that you need to know, and it's not as difficult as what you may think. Today I'm going to explain to you what a sales funnel is briefly, because there's a lot of technical talk that business owners, obviously, they don't understand. It's not their job to. So when someone's talking about sales funnels, it's going over their head a little bit, which is normal. It's like if someone starts talking to me about a subject that I don't really know, and some of the terminology is going to go over my head. So you're going to understand what that is. I'm going to explain that briefly. And then I'm going to explain, if you've already got a sales funnel in place, I'm going to show you, if I was looking at it, how I would look at the data, because we always go off of data. I'm going to show you what to look at, because some of it is irrelevant. There's only a few things that you really need to look at, and that's your click-through rates, your percentage of people that are taking up your offer, and then how many people are buying, and then that ultimately that is determined by the profit or the revenue that it generates on the end, because it's sales at the end of the day that you want. So I'm going to go through that now. So there's a lot of data, especially in the Facebook Manager. This actual example is a sales funnel of mine that's actually working right now, but I'm also going to explain that you can put this system into most businesses. It works, but there's a reason why. Hopefully you can see all that. I'm sure you can. I did look, I can see in the screen that you can. There's a reason why there's a few different steps, and when you're looking for a problem or something to fix, you're looking for what we call the bottleneck. So we're looking for the bottleneck within the sales funnel. Just quickly, you're probably looking at this and thinking, why is all these steps in here, these upsells and stuff like that? Well, there's a big good reason for this. So let's just say you're selling someone something for £10. Oh, actually, I'll give you a better example. You walk into a shop, you've gone to the counter, you've gone to buy something, right? You're just about to pay for your items, and then let's just say next to it is Christmas, isn't it? Let's just say there's some advent calendars on the desk or on the counter where the cashier is or the salesperson. So you walk in, it's Christmas time, so it's relevant, okay, what I'm just about to say. You walk in, you pay for the item, but the cashier doesn't say anything. That's first example. So the shop has only made £10 in revenue, or sales if you like. Second example, you go to the counter, you pay for your items for £10, and then the cashier says, we've currently got 50% off of our advent calendars. Have you got your advent calendar for the holidays yet? And probably 1 in 3 people will probably buy one of those calendars. That is a stat, by the way. So let's just say that the calendar is £5. The customer might buy 1 or 2, and they might buy them for gifts. So let's just say, just for mathematics' sakes and ease, let's just say that they buy 1. So on that, every 1 in 3 customers, you've made another £15. You've made £15 rather than £10. If you did that to 20 people that came in your shop, you can see how you can easily, just by asking a question, increase your revenue without doing anything difficult. And it's the same with a system online. And by the way, I've worked in a lot of different sales jobs, and I've read a lot about human behaviour and how people act. And actually, when we buy something or we make a purchase, especially if it's something for us that's of value. Let's just say you're going clothes shopping. As soon as you've made that first sale, you've bought that first item, you tend to go and buy other items easily. And I was always taught the second sale is always easier than the first sale, and this used to happen quite a lot when I used to do window sales. You'd really have to battle to get someone over the line for, let's say, £20,000, and then you could add on a door or the roof trims, and they'd go for it straight away. And the reason that happens is when we make a decision, a bit like with a list and we cross a list off, or we make a sale, we actually get a shot of dopamine and it makes us feel good. So it's actually easier to ask there and then for the second sale. Listen, as long as it's helping someone, you know, if it's something that's benefiting them and it's a good value, it's fine. I'm not saying you should be trying to sell everything to people that's not going to help them or not going to be valuable to them. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, online and in a real life situation, it's actually easier to get the second sale. So that's why these points are in here. So this is what's actually I've got running at the minute. So I've got a Facebook ad, then it's an opt-in. So the Facebook ad is a video or an image that's talking to my customers the right way. Let's just say it's how to fix your social media ads, okay, because that's what it is. It's actually, what is it? It's fixyoursocialmedia.com, fixyoursocialmedia.co.uk. So if you go there, you'll see that. And then it's got a lead magnet, which is a downloadable book for free. And then I've got a certain amount of people going into that, which is a 12% opt-in, okay? So 1.7 click rate on the front end of the actual advert, okay? So anything between 2 and 5% is good, right? And there's a reason why I'm explaining that. And then I've got a 12% opt-in rate that's actually people giving me their details and taking the free offer. And then 2% of the 12% are actually buying a £5 product. And then 7% are actually buying my 5-day course, which is turn video views into paying customers. 7% of them are buying that, okay? And this all happens in a sequence. So they come in, they opt into that, they get the option to pay for that. If they pay for that, then they get this, they get the option for this. And that's how that works. Now, our goal is to try and find what the best bet or action is we can take or you can take to increase the revenue the easiest. Now what I mean by that is, let's just give you an example of an apple tree, okay? There's an apple tree full of apples and you've got 3 options, right? You could walk up to the apple tree and pick about 5 or 10 low picking fruits or apples. You could drive off and get a ladder, put the ladder on the tree, climb up the ladder and probably get 30 apples. Or you could go and hire a telelift or a stair lift for about £350 a day. It's going to take a couple of days to get there. And then you can go where you want on the stair lift and you can collect all the apples. Now I'm going to ask you a quick question. Which do you think is the easiest action to take that increases revenue or gets the apples and it's the easiest? Well, you've probably guessed right. You could just walk up where you are when you're looking at the apple tree and then pick those apples and you've got some apples and you haven't had to do anything. You've done it there and there. You haven't have to waste any petrol driving to get a ladder or buying a ladder or renting a ladder. And the same in the other example. You haven't got to get on the phone, get a stair lift dropped off and all that. So it's picking the easiest route to increase the revenue the easiest. Now again, I'm going to look at this, and this is something that I would do if you already had something running. If someone's got something running, and I've actually got someone that I'm just about to look at their back end actually on what they've already got running, established business, and you don't actually have to go and reinvent the wheel. So these are my stats. So from what I've said, if a 2 to 5% opt-in rate on Facebook's pretty good, okay, or so let's say that I'm working for a customer, but I'm going to use me as an example. A 12% opt-in rate on the lead magnet, a 2% upsell on the £5 product, then 7% of the people that come through here take up the second one for £45. So from me explaining that, where do you think the bottleneck is in there? And what's the easiest action for me to take? Now, if that's, or I'll explain it to you, if that's a 1.7 click-through rate on Facebook and a 2 to 5 is good, doubling that is probably going to be quite difficult, because if, let's say it was for a customer or a client, say I was working for you, you might have to go off and create new videos or new creatives or design things on Photoshop, or I would have to come and film and do new videos and write scripts out. All right? These two are probably a lot more difficult to try and double here, and it's probably not the most sensible thing to try and do with these two. Now, because I know the stats on a free opt-in with a lead magnet, ideally, depending on what you're talking about or the industry that you're in the competition, I mean, a free opt-in should be anything between 30, I would say, 30 to 40% opt-in rate. So, on that, if I could double the opt-in rate on the free lead magnet to 24%, then I've just doubled all my revenue. And all I've got to do, by the way, it'll be the landing page, and it'll be something as simple as whether I've got a video sales letter in there explaining, or changing the headline, which is simple to do. It's just a few clicks on the computer. Now, you imagine going in and looking at someone's system that they've got, and you can go and look at that data, and you know what you're looking for, and that's what you need to do, or that's what the person that's doing the job for you needs to do, is look at that data and try again. What's the best action to take to increase revenue the easiest? And it's just increasing that. That's the easiest stat to increase because it's lower. Now, I hope you followed that along. Now, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, but you've created a 5-day course and you know how to do this and you know how to do that. But it's very, very simple. It's the same as in a real life, in a real life situation. And by the way, there's enough tools out there now with AI and different things where even if you're a small business owner, that you can create an ongoing sales funnel like this for your business. So I know dog groomers, I know people that train horses, I know all things like dog trainers. All that stuff you could implement in here. So look, I'll give you a quick example. If you're a dog trainer, yeah, so what you could do is you could create your lead magnet, which would be a free booklet, ebook, which you can make on online, very, very easy. You can even get AI to do it for you now. That's how good it is. And you can make it on how to keep your dog trained off the lead. Okay. And what you could do is you can make your ebook with a few steps for doing that. Okay, so they're going to opt in. Your advert's obviously going to be to do with training dogs, how to train your dog off the lead, let's just say. Or do you own a dog? Take our guide on how to train your dog or have your dog behave off of the lead. However you want to write it, you would test all these. Okay, so they've got the lead magnet, they opt in for that. Then your upsell could be, you could change the prices on this, but you could quickly make a 5-day or a 10-day video course with small videos that you've filmed. And let's be honest, iPhones are that good now. You could make these videos very, very easy, especially if you're an expert in your field. Okay, or pay for someone to do it. If you don't have to, it doesn't have to be expensive, because because you'll be testing this. You want to do everything. Still want it to look good, but you want to make sure everything's cost effective, because it might not work. This bit will work. The stuff and the information that you're giving to the people, because it's going to be helpful. But it's this bit on the front end that you want to test as much as possible. So you have to keep this cost effective to whatever your budget is. Okay, but I've digressed a little bit. I'll go back. So it could be a 30-day video series or 14 days video course on how to train your dog off the lead. Don't know if that's the right terminology for dogs, but there you go. Then, if they opt in for that, you could actually give them a discount there and then on one-to-one dog training. Okay, give you another example. I know loads of equestrian people that train horses or get horses to behave themselves. If you've got a horse that's difficult, same thing. You do your advert, you could do an ebook or something on sensitizing your horse, if that's the right terminology, something like that. I've done a few videos of this before. Anything like that on the problems that people find that they're having with their horses. I know a good one. Loading horses into horse trailers. From my experience in that, they can be an absolute nightmare. Now, if you're good at doing that, you could do a little ebook on that. Then you could upsell them on a video series that you've done on training a horse and how to get them into the trailer properly, or sensitizing them if your horse is scared or it gets, you know, it's a bit, what's the word? It doesn't like doing certain things, you know, I don't know, I'm not a horse rider obviously, but you can see where I'm going with it. So you've done a video series on that, and then if you're obviously within your area, but mind you, the horse people will travel. If you're good, they will travel. Then you could do classes where you're actually teaching them with their horse one-to-one, which would be a really big upsell, which you would probably have to get them on the phone to do that, so you could follow them up. You could have something, you could call them for that, or you could just offer one-to-one class, you know, which wouldn't cost a lot of money, and you could get them at a discount on the upsell on the end. And then you can do the same thing, and then you can have a look at your stats, and then you can see where your bottleneck is. And that's a real simple way, by just paying attention to data, because a lot of people don't. You can't. The only thing that you can guess with and test, and you're not 100% sure what's going to work, is at the very start. And it's normally your creatives and your headlines and your offer that you're offering on the front end. That's the thing that you don't know that's concrete. But once you've got a load of stats, the rest of it is concrete because you've got something tangible to actually work with that you're looking at. Okay? So I hope I've showed you in simple terms how you can actually double your revenue online if your system isn't working that well. If you haven't got something like this in place, then online, then you should, because imagine sitting at home at Christmas and over the 2 weeks when you might not be at work, you've got residual income coming in with people because they will be at home and they'll be searching for all this stuff, especially if they're your customers, and you've got something that's working like this and then it's giving you revenue all the time, 24 hours a day. So I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully you've taken something from that, and hopefully some of the terminology, if you do hear it when you're hearing sales funnels and upsells, hopefully you've understood what I've said and that's helped you a little bit. If you do struggle with this front bit, actually thinking, well, who do I target? How do I lay my ads out? I don't even know how to use the ads manager. Then go to this free training. It's www.fixyouradstraining.com. I'll try and put it in the link down somewhere, you'll see it. But if you go to there, it'll show you, it's 28 minutes long, I think, it's absolutely free, okay? You haven't got to pay for it, you haven't even got to put your email address in. If you go to that URL, so again, www.fixyouradstraining.com, I'll show you exactly how you lay out this first bit in testing so you can get to this next bit. If you've got any questions or anything, just drop them in, send me an inbox, or actually there's a page on that actual URL. You can book a call with me if you want, free, if you want to talk about anything. If it's more than 10 minutes, I think you can book a call there for about 30 to 60 minutes with me direct. But again, that URL is www.fixyouradstraining.com, and hopefully you've took something from that and now you understand what stats to look for, actually what a sales funnel is, and about the bottleneck of what to look for within your campaigns. See you soon.